How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the shop. And I thought we should talk about something today, guys. So, I'm seeing a lot that it seems like the younger generations don't want to work anymore, guys. And that's a problem for this whole country. But how did we get here? How did we get in this spot where no one wants to get a job anymore, guys? Are we just lazy? I don't know. Technically, I'm a millennial. I'm 40 years old, guys. Yep, it's 40 is the number of testing. So here we are. And I just finally decided to try something on my own, guys. For my whole life, I've worked a 9 to 5, punching in, punching out, and they got you. They got you, man. But they don't really got you the way they used to, right? And here we come to this big problem. Guys like my dad and not really my dad, but before him probably, companies were smaller and they used to take care of their employees, guys. They used to treat them like family. You'd have outings where you'd go out someplace or, play golf or, I know, weird stuff, but there was a sense of togetherness, team, family. And then what happened is these big companies like your Walmart and Amazon came in and bought everything, guys. So the little companies had to sell out or find a way to cut corners. And guess what corners got cut, guys? You and me. We got cut. And there is no more pensions. There's no more. I mean, you're lucky if you get paid on the 4th of July when you're staying home. Let's be for real. So you just get your paycheck now. But they still want you to show up every day, right? That's kind of why I gave up this last job. My wife hurt her back, and she couldn't lift up our 2-year-old without serious spasms. Right? And I was like, that's dangerous. You cannot lift him up, and he can't spend all day in the crib. That's not right. So I was like, I got to stay home and take care of this guy. And a couple days of that, and then I just got a text from a coworker, not even the boss. It was passed down the line, and he says, show up tomorrow or don't worry about coming in no more. I just never answered. I just never responded. I never went back. They mailed me my last check a few days later. But I worked pretty hard at this place, guys. Anyone who stepped into that lumber yard would say it was a better spot since I was there. I tried really hard and worked wholeheartedly, took on other people's jobs, because it was team, right? And they seen that and they started leaning, I seen them all start doing less and less. And, but here I'm getting paid. They started me out at $15 an hour, guys. I'm driving 24-foot trailers full of tens of thousands of dollars of materials, delivering. I'm using this super industrial heavy duty strength forklift to unload all materials, to set up all the trucks going out. I organize the whole shop. Like anytime something needs to be unloaded, put away, I did all of it, man. $15 an hour. The same exact price that they paid my daughter, who was 17, to stand around at a Dollar General, okay? And I was starting to get angry, man. Like, I'm just like, you're treating me like a child, and I'm giving you the work of a man, okay? I don't need to get rich, but I should probably make more than my teenage daughter. Guys, it was getting to me. So I started asking around, for another job, looking for another job. They found out and they ran and was like, hey, we'll give you $2 an hour raise. And I was like, you were going to wait for me to, I didn't say this, but I'm thinking, yeah, sure, I'll take it. But you were going to wait for me to leave before you decided to pay me what you thought I was worth. You shouldn't have to do that. You should never have to ask for the money that you've earned, okay? You should never have to ask for a paycheck, and if you're going above and beyond, you shouldn't have to ask for raises, guys. They put us in these sticky, uncomfortable situations, hoping, because a nice guy will just take it. He'll just say, okay, they'll eventually treat me fair, right? But they probably won't, guys, if you don't ask for it. And it's horrible. We shouldn't be here. But people are cutting so many corners that whoever's on the bottom, you know what they say about feces flowing downhill, right? So the little guy takes all that. And as the rich get richer, that's got to come out of some place, guys. Where's that coming from, right? It's coming out of us, right? And you look around and you see all the waste, misallocation of resources. We got a lot of problems here, guys. And what do? Maybe we just need people to say, okay, do I have any skills? I don't know. Can I do anything all right? What do I like doing? Am I willing to learn and get better? Then cut the ties, man. Cut the cords from these massive companies and do your own thing, man. I think we're ready for a reset. I think we're ready for a rebirth here. We just need some people with some hope, some faith, some positive belief, man, and do what you believe you were put here to do. But punching in and out is probably not it, guys. These companies need to, they need to get right. And union isn't good enough, man. Unions aren't enough. I'm not sure what we can do because they got all the resources and the money and the power. But what is power, guys? Power is life. Life is power. Love is power. And if we little guys all unite together, we might have something there, guys. But we got to work together. We got to treat each other with love. Why do you think they want us divided so bad, guys? Why do you think they want to divide us? Races, sexes, whatever, you name it, ages. They're trying to divide us. Why would they do that? Because they know the strength and the power. When humans get together and they do what they believe is right, look out, man. They once asked the old World War II pilots, they said, the Nazis had you outgunned, outmanned, they had better crafts. How did you win? And one of the pilots said, I've come to believe that when a guy believes what he's doing is right, he can be pretty good at it, And so that's all it is, man. We got to figure out what we need to do that's right. And I don't know what that is, so I can't give you the answer. I'm trying to find out for me, but I'm starting to build stuff, I'm starting to build stuff out of scrap wood. But no, and I'm hoping flipping furniture might be a way where I could find an alley there, like a little side channel to, they throw this word around, financial freedom. Maybe it's that. I think it's more than that, though. It's more than just finances, guys. It's freedom in your soul and your spirit, man. Like you got to believe what you're doing is right, or you can't do a good job. And, before the lumberyard, I worked at all kinds of places, man. I was trained as a carpenter for most of my life by my dad and his dad before him. But then, I thought I was going to go a different route. I thought I was pretty smart. So I was going to go to college. And I went for one semester, man. And I was like, this is a very expensive high school. I can't go here. Dude, I'm not spending $30,000 a year for this. I realized on my first semester there, it was Olivet Nazarene University, man. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go there. They're going to fix me up because, I was drinking too much. And I was like, I'll learn how to be a good boy, if I go over there and I do this. I went there, man, and it was the greatest evil scam I've ever seen in my life, dude. You had to go to chapel every day. And if you didn't, what do you think your punishment was? Do you think they made you read the Bible or meet one-on-one with a pastor in order to find out where your heart really was? No, they fined you cash, okay? And my fines were getting so high up, man. And then, I used to have to walk off campus to go have a smoke because it was illegal. And they caught me one time and fined me more money. I'm like, dude, I'm an adult. Can't I go smoke a cigarette in the street? Are you serious? And they just kept fining and fining. I was like, dude, I'm out of here. This is not it. I didn't feel like I was really learning anything that would help me in real life, you know? And I'm not just paying for a piece of paper like that, man. It's useless, okay? You know, and I get it. For some people, if you have a job, a specific job picked out, like you want to be a teacher, you know, you may have to put in your 4 years time somehow to get that paper. But there's really a lot of useful things we can do without it, man. So anyways, I bounce around from there. I end up remodeling houses for a guy, and he's paying me $7 an hour under the table, and I'm remodeling the whole thing by myself. He's just paying for the materials. He was making so much money, man, off of me. Another time, I was working for this other guy for under the table $7 an hour, and you know this was the 2000s, okay? So I should have been making more by then to do this stuff. I'm breaking apart cement slabs and lining his riverbank, you know, beating myself to smithereens. I worked for P&D Antenna Company. That's a Verizon company for 7 years. We climbed cell towers and install 5G internet, basically, right? You know, the gold mine. Guess how much I got paid there? $80 a day. $80 a day. Eventually, after a few years, I got a raise to $120 a day, but it was not even worth it, man. The owner of the company used to brag and like take us into his mansion and show us he had a stuffed elephant in his foyer. I never knew what a foyer was until that day. And I'm looking at this going, I live in an apartment with my wife and kids. We're scraping to get by. And you give us a ham at Christmas time, and that's supposed to make it even, dude? And there was no pension, nothing. Some dude actually fell off the tower, and they didn't even help his wife and family, dude. I was like, I'm done. I'm out of here. You guys are scamming too. So then I went and worked at a hospital as a maintenance guy. And I did that for a couple years. Saved the hospital $30,000 because I painted the whole upstairs by myself. It was crazy, huge job, you know. And, but yeah, then I started seeing how the hospital's getting people, man. I started seeing behind the scenes of what they're doing to people. And I'm like, I can't be a part of this. This is a criminal organization. I gotta go. Maybe other hospitals are different. I'm sure they are. I hope they are. But that one couldn't do it, man. I couldn't reconcile it in my conscience anymore. So I left that. I was grain operating, doing the grain vac thing where you're vacuuming grain out of silos and putting it into, you know, semis and taking it where it needs to go. That was a pain in the butt too. I'll tell you what, that grain that gets stuck to your boots, it like rots and it smells like the worst thing you could ever imagine. My wife used to make me leave my boots outside before I came in the house. That wasn't for me either. and then yeah, I had this lumberyard gig and a lot of other little jobs in the middle. One time I was working on a farm when I just had one kid for $5 an hour and 50 cents an hour meat credit. And oh man, the stuff we would have to do. Like one day he says, "Hey boy, did you play football?" I said, "Yeah, I guess so." He's like, "I want to see you in a 3-point stance and go tackle that pig." And I was like laughing like, "Hey, yeah, good one, man." He's like, "No, seriously, do it." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Okay, here we go. So I tackle this pig. That thing bounced, bro. It bounced right back on his feet, knocked me over. So I got him again and I'm holding him. And then this dude casually walks up with a Swiss Army knife and says, "Oop, hold on. I got to sharpen my knife." Sharpens his knife while I'm holding this pig and just slices the gonads right off, man. I'm sorry if that's a trigger for you guys. It was crazy. There was snow on the ground, so there was blood everywhere. This pig is squealing and fighting. And if that wasn't bad enough, guess what was for lunch that day? I had one bite, all right? One bite, and it was like I was eating hard gristle. It's like the end of a chicken leg, you know, that cartilage piece when you accidentally chew that. It was like eating that, man. It was horrible. I was like, man, this place ain't for me either. So, you know, I've been all around, and I haven't found a good place for me yet. So I'm just gonna try to do something, man. I don't know. I'm hoping this furniture thing works out, but it's time. It's time to take a chance. It's time to do what I believe is right. I don't think I'm lazy, guys. Maybe I'm lazy. Maybe I have trouble with commitments, because I can last at a job for a while, and then about as soon as it's time for a promotion, I gotta go. I can't stay. I don't know why. It's like I don't want to be owned or trapped by a company. You know, I don't want to be stuck at one place for 30 years. I don't know. Maybe that's an issue with me. It could be. It's possible. But I don't think we're lazy, man. I think we need to love each other better. And it starts at the top, but since I have no control over them, I guess we're going to start it at the bottom. Hopefully I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. I hope you guys are blessed. And yeah, man, hopefully you guys are encouraged too. It's going to be all right, man. It's going to be okay. Look at the sparrows. The sparrows don't gather too much. They don't fill barns up with grain. They don't build extensive houses. And your heavenly Father takes care of them just fine, you know? Look at the flowers in the field, right? Find me a king that's dressed that splendid. You can't do it. So, if God takes care of things like that, how much more so would he take care of us? But we got to trust in him and stop trusting in man. Stop trusting in company. Stop trusting in money. I know it's tough, man, because stuff's getting more expensive too. But I think we can do it. I think we can do it together. And I think the key is love, man. Do all things in love wholeheartedly, like you're doing them for God. And I think things are going to work out okay if you do that. I do. Hopefully you have a beautiful day, and hopefully you come back next time.